Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies. Today we're going to be replacing the PCV valve on this 2007 Dodge Charger with a 5.7 liter engine in it. I'm going to show you a couple things about this PCV valve. There's a couple different options, and this video should be good for the 2006, I believe all the way to 2023, maybe 2019. I've done a ton of Dodge Chargers. So if your Dodge Charger has the PCV valve in the same location as this one, it's going to be the same process. Your PCV valve might be a little bit different, but we're going to cover everything in this video. Now the PCV valve on this vehicle is located right here on the intake manifold, right here on top. Real easy to get to. This whole process should take you 5 minutes if everything goes right. So let's get this going. All you're going to need is a croissant wrench or something like this. It'll make it a little bit easier. Grab the ears of the PCV valve and give it a little twist, and it should come right out. Like so. Now, here is where we are going to cover a couple different things. Now, I went down and got a PCV valve earlier for this vehicle, or what they said was for this vehicle, and you can see on this one, this is the V377 PCV valve. This right here, the locking part, is a different design than the factory one. The factory one has a little bit of a slant to it, if you can see that. So I ended up going back down and getting this V70, and you can see this one has the actual locking slant to it. Hopefully you could see that. So when you take these out, before you go buy your PCV valve, you want to make sure which one you have, just to make sure you're getting the right one. I don't know why they gave me this one in the first place, and it's wrong, but I had to go back down and get this one. So to get this thing reinstalled, we should get some oil. Now I just got a little bit of oil on my finger, and I'm going to lube up this here O-ring and this O-ring right here, just to get them a little bit moist so they could slide in easy. If you don't have any oil, you could do a good old Haktua on this thing. Just get a little bit wet, you know. When it's wet, slides in a little bit easier. Just makes the job way easier. Now all we're going to do is take this and line it up inside the PCV valve housing. Try to, at least. There we go. No. There we go. Now, so you can see the little triangles or ears are sticking out, which way they're sticking out. It's inside the housing. Now we twist it. To lock it down takes a little bit of oomph. Maybe use... and that's it. Do not put any pressure on this at all. If it's hard to turn, don't use a tool to turn it. And you can see it was just a quarter of a turn, and that locked it into place. And you are all done. That's replacing the PCV valve on a Dodge Charger again. 2006 to I believe 2023 will all be the same. Some of the intakes have a little bit of an extra part of the intake right here, but as long as the PCV valve is located right here, the process is going to be the same. It's going to be just as fast. Now we just got done replacing the PCV valve on this vehicle, but I do get questions a lot about how the PCV system works. So PCV, positive crankcase ventilation system. What happens is when the PCV valve opens up, it clears all the moisture, the gunk from the engine, the blow-by, everything that would be built up in the engine, it gets sucked in the intake, goes through the combustion process and cleaned up through the tailpipe. How does that work? All right, so right here, the PCV valve gets vacuum from the intake right here. So when you open up your throttle, you get vacuum. It's actually max vacuum at idle. When you open up the throttle, you lose vacuum at a higher speed or higher RPMs. But when you get vacuum inside the intake manifold, vacuum is applied right here. That'll suck the fumes out of the engine through the PCV valve into the intake. How does it get fresh air? Well, over here, fresh air is entered into the engine. That is filtered from this hose right here. Fresh air goes in this hose right over here into the engine right there at the bottom of your oil ad or your oil filler neck. So fresh air in, all the air will be sucked into the engine on this side, goes through the engine, and comes out on this side. The air will then flow up through the PCV valve and then into this hose and into the intake, again going through the combustion process and being cleaned up through the tailpipe. Now if this video helped you out, make sure to comment below with the year, make, and model of the vehicle that it did help you on. Look for links in the description below for the PCV valves that are going to fit your vehicle. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody about Scotty's Hobbies, and I will see you guys on the next hopefully helpful video.